you join us at IKEA.
We thought it might be time to head to IKEA to see what they've got in store that would be perfect for van life. So come with us for a little shopping trip. As we talk about a lot, having plenty of storage, particularly in a smaller van, is key. And we currently use these pegboards at home for storing different bits and pieces, but actually this would be perfect fitted onto a back of a van, so either in the garage or on a spare area that you have, and then you can get all the different accessories to clip onto it, which I think we'll find in a minute. We love additional lighting, and it looks like IKEA have finally started doing their own festoon lighting. So we need to find this in the lighting department in a minute, but that's a really great new addition that we've not seen before.
These are an interesting find that you've got to obviously be concerned about the weight on hanging them above the head, etc. But these look really useful in the fact that you've got press open and press close already built in. And they come in all the different colours and things, but you also get the drawers as well, which have the same functionality, which will be really handy in the van.
Often in drawers and cupboards you can't fit a full cutlery pot, so actually this size is perfect. You can make up any combination, the size that you want, and they're really reasonable as well. They're 75p to £1. Potentially a little bit flimsy, but I think they do the job. So the Kallax is a bit of an IKEA staple, and actually as we've been looking at some different van conversions, we've noticed people actually using these, turning them on their sides, and then using them under their beds for storage. So obviously would add a significant bit of weight, but we've noticed an awful lot of van conversions with these in. So yeah, just this Kallax turned on its side, or you've got the Kallax here and the Flister, which is slightly narrower, but turned on their side, use them for storage, but they also go under the bed as well to support. So a handy little tip if you don't want to build your own wooden support or wooden storage area for your van conversion. But this mat actually would be perfect for the garage. I think it only comes in red, but you've also got this little metal stand that sits above it for a couple of levels to put your shoes and your boots on. And I've just found it in grey. I'm not quite sure how well that would stay together if you were driving around in a van, to be honest, but you could probably secure them with cable ties or something like that. That would be a great little thing to use in your garage area. Spotted another one of those pegboards, this time in black, but just underneath they've got the shelving unit. Not the shelving unit, as this would be far too big and heavy, but actually these little sampler boxes. So this is what we currently use to store all of our kitchen equipment under our little bed area, and they're really handy because they're stackable as well, especially if you've got the lids. Only £3, pretty sturdy and fantastic probably for a garage area or for your kitchen storage. I've not actually seen one of these in here before, but they're little plate holders, so essentially they can fix into the base of your cupboard. Pop all your plates in there and it stops them sliding around. I think also in here somewhere they do little covers that you can put between each of your plates to protect them. These come in two different sizes, so a smaller size and a larger size. These would be perfect to sit in your cupboard, have all your plates in them and stop things moving around. We've actually come into the more general storage area and there are loads of amazing storage bits and pieces. Loads of little pots, boxes. These are the little protective mats I talked about that stop things moving around. If you've watched our Caddy van tour, or probably any van tour, you will know how widely used these spice racks are. So they're really versatile. You can use them with all the additional add-ons. So you've got these little bags that we've got little hooks, and basically you can create yourself a little versatile storage area for only £3. These bags are also £3, and this is what we use as a little mini bookshelf. And we also use it for our cables and wires and phone charging when we're in the Caddy. So yeah, these are really great, really versatile, and you can use them as a spice rack if you need to, but we use ours as a little bookshelf. They've also got in this section the little mini bags, and again we use these probably more for decor at the moment actually, but they're really handy, really light, just to hang up in your van and use them for shopping or for storage. Hang them off a little hook and it's a perfect little storage bag. Alongside the wooden and the plastic ones, they've also got a great selection of metal frames and all these really great attachments you can hang off them, so things like pots, and they've even got these kind of larger black storage bits that you can hang off them. So these are actually really, really versatile, and I think you've probably got more attachments for this than you'd have for the traditional spice rack. And they've even got little additional plastic bins as well that you can hang off them. A bit of an ongoing challenge for us is a bin. Especially being in a caddy, there's not an awful lot of room for putting waste. So we've been on the hunt for a perfect bin to use in the van. Now this one's probably slightly too big. Tom's also just noticed there's no fixtures on it or anything, so you can't fix it to anything. It would just be a standalone bin. Ideally, we're looking for something that will mount in a cupboard or mount on wood so that it can be fixed and in one place. But that being said, if you are looking for a bin, £5 for a bin with a lid. We're starting to reach the practical cleaning area. A few things we definitely can't live without are these microfiber cloths for condensation on the window. This squeegee, which should be a little bit cheaper than buying one of those window bags, but probably not as effective. And the other thing that every van lifer needs, mini dustpan and brush. Getting to the really exciting stuff now. Probably one of our favourite hacks for our caddy was using one of these children's cot beds to turn into our mattress. So when we bought our caddy, it had two very simple cushions that were the sofa that converted into the bed. But we bought two of these mattresses, trimmed one slightly to make it a little bit narrower, and it fits perfectly to create a small double bed in the back of our caddy. Really great hack and really affordable to improve comfort for a good night's sleep.
Just found these child-proof latches which could actually be used for any sort of drawers and things in the van, which would be quite handy when you're driving around. Obviously they have the pre-made things that you can fit to them, but these are just cheap and affordable and a good way of doing it.
Okay, so now we're getting serious, down into the market hall. Washing dishes is always such a boring part of van life, but a necessity all the same. And they've got a nice washing up bowl in here, and also this double-sided dish drainer. So if you haven't got a sink area, you could easily take this with you to use facilities on site, and just keeps your dishes up off the draining board if you're using more of a communal space. So this is potentially a bit of a niche hack. When we go travelling around, we collect quite a lot of pin badges. And I think you could probably get one of these cork boards and use it to display all of your pin badges and then stick it up in the wall of the van. So yeah, a little bit niche, but handy if you're a big fan of pins. Now this is always a part of IKEA that I get very carried away in, all of the napkins and the tableware and the mats and things like that. And we've got some new ones in, which are really, really lovely, which are cork, so protect more of the surfaces. I absolutely love this section, all the baskets and the linen. Completely unnecessary, but just love all of these little details. Now, if there's definitely one more thing we don't need, it's throws, but they are super handy just to add a little bit of colour, especially if you've got quite a small space and you want to brighten it. We have this one, and it just really brightens up the space. It's really nice to see some more exciting colours coming in. So this orange and pink throw is amazing. They've also got some darker orange, kind of burnt orange, red, brown and green as well. So a whole fresh palette of colours coming in terms of throws, and just really help to add that pop of colour. We haven't seen these before in IKEA, but they're 3 metre bundles of fabric. So we've got some really fun fabrics. We especially love the cat one, but they're just really fun. So if you want to create your own sofa covers or cushion covers, they are really simple, quite affordable, around £15 for that much material, which is fantastic, and a way to add a really fun pop of colour to your van. Yeah, we especially love this one with all the cats on. There are a few options for lighting in IKEA, particularly if you're looking for battery powered. So we have a mix in our current van, so some that we can plug into USB sockets, and some battery powered lighting as well that we use rechargeable batteries for. But they do have a few sets of lighting chains in here, and in particular these that look like mini festoon lights. We have found the pegboard area. They've got really large pegboards in white, and they've also got them in black just behind as well. And then to go with them, every single option for storage you might possibly want. So everything from storage baskets to hooks to little drawers to clips. So you can create the ultimate storage area, everything you might need in your van in one space. Also just spotted little bungees, which you can also use on these pegboards. To build on the pegboard theme, they also do these desk organisers now, which come with a little pegboard inside. But actually, rather than using them for a desk, you could use it as a little toolbox area for storage for your van, and it would just slot nicely into the back of the garage. We are back into the practical laundry area of the marketplace. They've got an absolute van life essential, the collapsible wash basin. So we actually have one of these that we use all the time, but they're so handy. Pops out, but folds flat, so it doesn't take up lots of space. And what I've also just spotted as well is they've got a smaller yellow version, which is the perfect size for your sink. Looks like Tom's found a bin as well.
Hangs flat, which is quite handy, but this is probably too big for our purpose, but for other vans maybe it might fit.
Yeah, it's
but
a
yeah,
huge
it does
bin.
have hanging things on the back, which we need this, but half the size.
A bit smaller. Yeah, so good for a bigger van. Thank you for joining us as we've had a little wander around IKEA. We've picked up a few small bits and also one bigger item.
Yeah, you'll find out more about that in the next video.
Yeah, so we'll see you then. But for now, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.